Afternoon, Anubhav.
Good afternoon,
Yeah,
sir.
briefly introduce yourself, Anubhav.
Yeah, I'm Anubhav Agrawal. I'm currently working in Goldman Sachs as Vice President. I've completed my graduation from IIT Bombay in Mechanical Engineering and Computer Science as minors. I hail from Durg, Chhattisgarh, where I have done my schooling, and my hobbies include singing, solving Sudoku, and traveling to places that I've read about.
Yeah. Traveling to different places. You mentioned Ajanta.
Yes, yes, sir.
Anything specific to Ajanta?
Ajanta, I like the paintings. I like the caves there, and actually, I got to know about Ajanta from my UPSC preparation. So I eagerly wanted to visit that place. So Ajanta and Ellora, I visited after my preparation for UPSC. So I liked it a lot. There's a Baghora
Okay.
River that flows from the middle. That also there's natural beauty plus cultural significance of that place.
Okay. What about what do you know about Ajanta Ellora caves?
Sir, Ajanta caves is specific to Buddhism, while Ellora caves has three religions: Hinduism, Buddhism, and Jainism. So there is a confluence of those. Ajanta came first during, like it was created during first to seventh century, and Ellora belonged to a later period during Rashtrakuta Empire. It was built. Ellora has also three-storied caves, and there is one Kailash temple that was created out of a single piece of rock. Uh, so that's a very good place to visit, sir.
Yeah. Anubhav, you tell me you started your job in JP Morgan, then went to BlackRock, now in Goldman Sachs, and good and important MNCs of the world. Why do you want to shift to public service at a VP level in Goldman Sachs?
Sir, I recently got promoted to vice president. Before, I worked in BlackRock and JP Morgan right out of college. So for 2.5 years, because I wanted to explore the private sector. But I always had civil services in my mind, so I wanted to prepare comprehensively for it. So I quit my job in JP Morgan in 2020 to comprehensively prepare for 3 years, but I was not able to clear it. So, because my preparation was up to the level that I can do other things as well. So that's why I joined Goldman Sachs and continued my preparation along with working, sir. So,
How do
because
you
of
like?
the inherent interest.
Yeah, good. How do you like the working in Goldman Sachs?
Sir, it's very good. Actually, it's a it interests me a lot because it is a confluence of mathematical models plus some sort of coding plus some sort of analytics that is required in my job, sir. So it's a confluence of the three things, sir.
Yeah. And you tell me why our institutes, national level institutes like IITs, they don't figure in the top universities of the world.
Sir, IITs have lack of international students. One case is that in other universities there are some sort of international exposure that is there. Our universities lack that. But also, sir, I think there is some sort of bias in the indices itself against the like they overweigh these things instead of the academic excellence that IIT provides. So there's some sort of bias as well, but we need to correct some sort of things as well. So like IIT Madras is like uh, opening a campus in Zanzibar, and IIT Delhi is, I think, opening a campus in UAE. So this will increase some sort of international exposure, which will have some sort of impact in the improvement of rankings.
Good. Even the students who study in these institutes,
Yes,
they
sir.
themselves don't rank these institutes compared to the US or any European top level institute. They don't compare. They compare there at a higher level. Why?
Sir, for the uh, higher studies like masters and PhD, I think there are better research facilities that are available in the international institutions rather than IITs. So, after graduating in bachelor's degree from IITs, generally students prefer to go to like US or European institutions for higher studies, sir. So I think yes, like lack of research is there in IITs, which is why I think this sort of thing is there in the mind of student as well, sir.
Yeah, we don't want to, we are not unable to retain the talent also for research.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's why brain drain is happening.
Whatever
Uh,
that
yes,
is, yeah, yeah.
yes, sir.
Because you worked in three my MNCs, how do you look at our Indian economy in the present scenario?
Sir, Indian economy is doing very good. Like it has been resilient to global shocks, but there are very uh, currently the global scenario has been quite uncertain, sir. So there are a lot of external events happening. So Ukraine-Russia war is still going on, Iran, and then there is some sort of tension in West Asia as well, Israel, Hamas, and Iran, and then currently Thailand and Cambodia war also has started. So our neighborhood has become volatile also, sir. Like Bangladesh, we recently saw that the government has been upthrown, and then Nepal also had some sort of protest. So our neighborhood is also getting volatile, sir. So this has some sort of impact on our economy. Apart from it, sir, US has been imposing 50% tariffs on our exports. So some sort of shocks there is also happening. Although our exports have increased even after 50% tariffs, sir, but in the long run, it will have some sort of shock to Indian economy, sir.
Yeah. Now you hear about artificial intelligence, new technologies. What type of jobs in government AI will replace?
Sir, AI can replace some sort of grunt work kind of things like data entry kind of jobs. I think that can be easily replaced by AI. And then some sort of analytics job, looking at the graphs and getting some sort of information out of data. So in the tax department, we can also have some sort of catching the fraud or tax evading cases that can be replaced by AI. Apart from it, sir, I think weather forecast can also have some sort of impact with better AI models, sir. So,
Okay, okay. What do you mean by quad and what is its role in the present scenario?
sir, Quad is a grouping of four countries. It was created informally after Malabar exercise. US, India, Japan was later joined, and Australia. These four countries are part of Quad, and they're like they want to basically secure the freedom of navigation, sir, and rules-based or international order in the Indo-Pacific region, sir. So, because of the increasing Chinese aggression in the Indian Ocean region, sir. So, this is current significance of Quad, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
To Anubhav,
Hi, sir.
so what is your experience so far? आपका अनुभव क्या है?
Sir, uh, like total of the life or
Right.
yeah, sir, it's been good. I actually, whenever I try to do myself better, and I try to pursue my own interests. From my childhood, I belong to a doctor family, so people wanted to make me doctor, but I like mathematics and physics, so I opted for those, and I cracked IIT, sir. So I think. I pursued my own interest, and after that also, I am still pursuing my own interest. I want to go to civil service, so I've been persevering. This is my fifth attempt, and I'm continuously preparing for the civil services, sir. So I think I'm trying to learn and getting myself better day by day, sir.
So you are already so highly technically qualified. Why is civil service is a generalist job and totally under political pressure these days and always?
Sir, as I said that I always had some sort of interest in public administration. I want to become part of administration, and private sector won't provide me opportunity to work for the people of India. So that is always lacking in the private sector. Although there is some sort of political pressure, I think that needs to be there, sir, as we need to follow people's mandate, and political representatives actually represent the mandate of the people, sir. So. I don't think that it's only in a negative sense, sir. I think we need to balance the public
Suppose,
interest and
Anubhav, you are in a situation, you
yes, sir.
suppose make you district collector of Durg, okay?
Yes, sir.
Right? So now you get a call from the chief minister to do something which is not provided for in the rules, and Anubhav Agarwal thinks that this is illegal. So will you follow the advice of the people's representative?
Sir, if it is not in the inherent interest of the people of Durg, then I won't do that, sir. And I'll try to convince or persuade the chief minister, sir, as well that it's not in the long-term interest of the people. So we need to change our course of action, sir.
Okay. So have you ever been in an ethical dilemma, Anubhav?
Ethical dilemma yet has not happened to me. Yeah, like in my current job, there is like I don't think I have been part of any ethical dilemma as such, sir.
Okay. So now you said you do singing solo?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I generally sing at my home only, like just some Bollywood songs.
Okay. Okay. So now Bollywood songs pre 75 and post 75. What is the difference?
Sir, P75, there was more of a classical taste in the Bollywood songs. Like Kishore Kumar was there, and I think Mohammed Rafi were great singers. They had their own style, sir. After that, sir, I think there is some sort of fusion happening with the Western music as well in the Bollywood songs. Recently we see some sort of bhangra pop and some English and Hindi fusion mix happening in the Bollywood songs, sir. So that is still happening, sir. So
Okay.
yeah.
So, Anubhav, you traveled to Ajanta.
Yes,
What
sir.
impressed you most?
Sir, the paintings there are quite beautiful, sir, and they are still preserved after like 2000 years. They are still very intact. And the natural beauty of the place also inspired me a lot. Like the river flows, like it creates a natural sort of levee in the caves, and like there is a bridge that we see and we can have quite good pictures there as well, sir. So there is a mix of culture plus nature in the place that impressed me the most, sir.
And did you see the frescoes inside?
Yes, sir.
That you calling paintings is actually called a fresco because it is done
Yes,
on
sir.
the wall.
Yes, sir.
So, do you
Yes, sir.
remember any fresco, or does it, and also does it have a name?
Yes, sir. Padma Pani fresco is there, and then there are sculptures for Mahaparinirvan, and
What colors did they use?
Sir, they generally used red color, black color.
No,
Uh,
not the color, the
yes, sir.
mixture.
The mixture. I think they use natural minerals like the stones. I think Geru is one sort of stone that is used for the red color. It has some ferrous
Not
like
red. It's called ochre. O C
yes, sir.
H R E.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Ochre colored. It's sort of reddish complexion that is used there. And then there is chalcedony, I think, for green that is used, sir. So it's also a stone.
Okay. So, are you aware of the tragedy in Indore?
Sir, Indore tragedies. Sorry, sir, I'm not aware.
You're not aware. Okay. Are you aware of what is the concept of Islamic State?
Yes, sir.
IS. Yes. The
Yes, sir.
one organization which has terrified the world today, everywhere.
Yes, sir. Sir, Islamic State wants to have some sort of dominance of the religion Islam, and they have a sort of war against the non-Muslims, sir, everywhere. So they want to have the world with just one religion as Islam, that too Sunni, I think Islam as their dominant religion, sir. So whatever non-Muslims are there. They want to eliminate those people or convert them, sir.
Okay. So, between Russia and Ukraine, the war has been
Yes, sir.
going on for many years now, more than three. So, what recently happened which made news in the world day before?
Sir, s- I'm not very aware of the recent things. I think one thing that I noticed is that Trump has been negotiating in terms of like Russia now. So Trump's want to end the war as soon as possible. So they are trying to convince, I think, Ukraine to accept the terms that are presented by Russia, sir. So that is one of the news that I
Okay, now
am aware
President
of.
Putin recently accused Ukraine of something, something. Are
Yes, sir.
you, do you recall it?
Sorry, sir.
Hmm. He accused Ukraine of sending a drone attack on his residence, but President Zelensky denied. And now President Trump has also said that there is no evidence of it. CIA has said that nothing happened. Okay, now
Sir.
over to Madhviji.
Sir.
Thank you, sir. Good to see you, Anubhav. Yes.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, there was a proposal for a bad bank, right? Do you remember?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Uh,
ma'am. Yes, sir.
do you think that's uh, there are prospects in it?
I think there's like for the NPS, ma'am. I think bad bank will provide some sort of restructuring and will have some sort of value can be created out of bad loans, ma'am. So I think it is a good idea, ma'am.
Do you think are we in order to promote our social or welfare interest, we are making the banks run on very thin profits? So do you think it's the right way, or should we have to improve our the the administration of bank?
Ma'am, some sort of reform is definitely required. So, like there are sort of loan waivers that happens that create a moral hazard for the people who actually pay the loans on time to not pay in the future, ma'am. Like so, like loan waivers will have some sort of a long-term impact on the mentality of the borrowers itself. That it's better not to pay because loan will be anyway waived, ma'am. So this will dilute the profits in the long run. And because we are a welfare state, ma'am, so we try to provide loans to the bottom strata so that their economic strength increases, which has some sort of dilution. But this only lies with the public sector banks, ma'am, and not with the private sector banks. So I think that is definitely required, but some sort of balance is also required, ma'am.
Do you think our PPP models, the public-private partnership models, are sufficient, or do we have to reform the existing models or bring certain new models?
Ma'am, PPP models provide like some sort of risk sharing and financial sharing, financial prospect sharing basically between the government and the private sector. But one major drawback there is they are not able to secure the loans because of the regulatory hurdles, ma'am. So clearances get delayed, and the project itself get delayed, which increases the cost of the project, and banks are not willing to take huge risks to fund those PPP models, ma'am. So there are new sort of PPP models like hybrid annuity model that is recently created, which sort of take care of this funding risk problem, ma'am. So it funds 40% of the project like upfront, ma'am.
Okay, what's the difference between insolvency and bankruptcy?
Ma'am, insolvency is not a formal statement. Bankruptcy is a formal statement that like we are insolvent, and insolvency is if the like if I'm not able to like uh, give back or to the loans basically, that my assets have eroded and my liabilities have increased, so I am becoming insolvent. But it's not a formal statement. I need to declare my bankruptcy to make it formal basically.
If tell me your weakness, Anubhav.
Ma'am, so because I'm currently working as well as preparing for civil services, I'm not able to focus on my health. So I'm not able to, even though I like running, I'm not able to regularly run, ma'am. And like my schedule is also somewhat skewed. I sleep less, so 7 hours. So that I also need to improve, ma'am. So some sort of time management is required to prioritize health.
What is this traveling to real places? What do you mean by that? Places are real.
Ma'am, what I wanted to write is that when I read about something, I get curious and then I go and see the place that gives me a better perspective and understand it better from what I read as well as what I see basically. So I recently visited Halebidu and Belur, ma'am, Hoysal temples. So I already read about those, but it gave me some other information as well, ma'am. So there is a temple there, Hoysaleshwar temple. It has sixth and seventh largest Nandi statue. That was not mentioned in the books, ma'am. So I think that I really like that. I when I go and see, I find some different kind of knowledge as well as like I see whatever I read, basically, ma'am.
You have shifted from lots of jobs, right? So why?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, first I worked in BlackRock right out of college for around 2 years, and then I got opportunity in quant research team in JP Morgan, ma'am. So I took it because it has a better like mathematical part. My job in BlackRock was more on software development, ma'am. So because I wanted a mix of both, I shifted the job to JP Morgan. And after working there for 1 year, my as I said, I wanted to prepare for civil services, so I quit my job in JP Morgan and prepared for civil services for 3 years, ma'am, from 2020 to 2023. But I was not able to clear it. I gave mains in 2022, but I was not able to clear it, ma'am. So I decided to join Goldman Sachs in 2023, ma'am, which I'm currently working on for more than 2 years, ma'am.
My last question is, if you're given 1 crore, where do you invest in?
Uh, like for my current age, ma'am, I think I can afford to take some sort of risk. So I will distribute it 70% equity, ma'am. Like even in the equities, I'll try to distribute it in the emerging economies and some sort of exposure to developed economies as well. And that remaining 30%, I'll try to invest it in the bonds basically, ma'am. So the government bonds or the corporate bonds.
So 1 crore is all for you.
So investment part I said, ma'am, like not the.
It's okay. It's okay. Thank you,
Yeah.
sir. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.